At 78 years old, Barry Gibb, the last surviving member of the legendary Bee Gees, has finally broken his silence about one of music's most iconic and enigmatic figures, John Lennon. For decades, rumours swirled about the nature of their relationship. From whispers of musical rivalry to private conversations that had never been publicly disclosed. Now, in a rare and emotional interview, Gibb is speaking out, revealing the truth about their encounters, their differences, and the deep respect he always held for the late Beatle. People always assumed there was some kind of distance between US because the Bee Gees were seen as pop, and the Beatles as rock royalty, Gibb said. But the truth is, John was more layered than most people ever knew, and he saw more in us than the critics ever did. According to Gibb, he and Lennon met several times in the early 1970s during studio sessions and music events, often engaging in long, philosophical conversations that had little to do with music and everything to do with life, family, and fame. He was curious about everything, Gibb recalled. And he had this sharp edge he could cut you down with one sentence, but if he liked you, really liked you, he'd open up. One of the most shocking revelations Gibb shared was that Lennon once privately defended the Bee Gees during a period when critics lambasted them for their disco success, particularly during the Saturday Night Fever era. He told me, "Don't listen to any of them. You found something that moves people. That's all that matters," Gibb said, holding back tears. Coming from him, that meant the world. Barry also admitted that while they weren't close friends, he always felt Lennon was watching, noting that John was intensely aware of the Bee Gees' influence on pop culture even when others weren't willing to acknowledge it. Gibb also shared a lesser-known moment when Lennon reached out, just months before his death, to discuss a possible collaboration or jam session. "It never happened," Gibb said solemnly. "Life got in the way, and then it was too late." He paused and added, "I often think about what that could have been." Two very different voices from the same era finding a bridge. Perhaps most revealing was Gibb's confession about the emotional impact Lennon's death had on him. It wasn't just losing a fellow musician, it was like losing a mirror. He reflected so much of what we all were dreamers, creators, flawed men trying to make sense of the madness. Gibb explained that it took him years to process Lennon's passing, and he chose to keep their interactions private out of respect until now. As he approaches the twilight of his own legendary career, Gibb said he wanted to share the truth, not to add to the mythology, but to honor the man behind the icon. He was brilliant, broken, brave and above all, real, Gibb said. And, in this world of noise and pretense, that's rare. As the music world reflects on Gibb's heartfelt words, one thing becomes clear: the respect between legends often goes unseen, tucked away in memories until time gives them voice. And finally, after all these years, Barry Gibb has given John Lennon his